Okay, I will call the California Military Institute regular board meeting to order at 5:36 p.m. I'm going to ask for a roll call to determine quorum. Trustee Anaya?
Here.
Trustee Stafford?
Here.
Trustee Hall? Here. Trustee Garcia?
Here.
Trustee Campos? Here. And we have established a quorum. And this is an invitation to address the Board of Trustees on closed session items only. Are there any public comments on closed session items?
No public comments.
Thank you. Do we need to adjourn to closed session? Do we have any items? Do I have a motion? Okay.
Just move on.
The regular board meeting of the California Institute is, the revision. So here we go with the ordering of the agenda for February 12th, 2025. And do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Garcia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Stafford. Please vote. Upon a vote being taken, the vote was 5-0. And we're going to move on to oral reports with the student representation to the Board of Trustees. Oh. Oh, Anaya. I'm sorry. Trustee Anaya.
Can you help her out?
Cadet Captain Santiago Frias.
Good morning. I'm 9th Brigade Commander Captain and this is the January to early February events and activities. First, we had individual major awards. This took place on January 25th. We had 3 divisions go up to Camp San Luis Obispo: Senior Officer Division, Junior Officer Division, and even Eagles Division. 5 cadets received awards. Out of the whole state of California, cadets in the Senior Division were awarded these 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place spots, as well as one of our Grizzly cadets earning 2nd place. Next, the Navy base field trip. The Navy base is in Coronado. This field trip was an educational trip around the Navy base. We were educated on Navy SEALs' responsibilities and as well as their grueling training to become a Navy SEAL. This trip took place on June 29th. 18 cadets, as well as our own guardsmen and staff, attended the tour. Next, our sports. I'm happy to report that both our boys soccer and basketball teams are progressing to CIF. Next, MHD. This took place on February 6th. We had 20 cadets attend as well as 4 guardsmen. We completed 7 services. Next, on February 8th, 15 cadets went up to Camp San Luis Obispo to compete in the state marksmanship competition. They were split up into 3 teams, 2 senior teams and 1 junior team. Both senior teams were awarded 1st and 2nd place. The junior team placed 3rd. They all did their best and did a very great job. Next is the upcoming events for February. The blood drive will be taking place on February 13th in the CMI gym. The military ball will be taking place on February 15th at March Airfield Base. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. 7.3 CMITA President Angel Lefmerins.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Superintendent, and Cabinet. I'd like to thank Mr. Hall. I agree with your mind thought that tomorrow's never given. Comes with a heavy heart that I see my TAs having some struggles and some issues. This evening, I'm before you with concerns centered around respect, fair and equal treatment, and professional responsibilities. A concern that has recently been brought to my attention is the incompleteness of personnel files for the certificated members under the unit. In assessing their files, several members have reported missing documents out of their discipline records. These include both letters of reprimand and the rebuttals attached to these reprimands, submitted in response to those letters. After speaking to both Dr. Dotson and Mr. Andrade, I agree this issue exists not at their hand, but of others. Regardless of the issue must be addressed, meaning that these files should have been completed with these write-ups some 12 months up to 6 years ago and has not taken place. CMI's mission statement, the mission of California Military Institute, is to ensure high levels of learning for all students through academic rigor, leadership development, high character expectations, and social and emotional support in order to prepare students to be college and career ready. In every classroom, these fundamental principles are posted. The expectations for members of this unit are to maintain, instruct, uphold, and develop these traits in all of our students. We are to remain respectful, responsible, to be kind, and provide a safe environment for all. In recent weeks, we have not been provided the same kindness, respect, nor have had the charter in fulfilling their responsibilities in their roles. Dr. Dotson has worked above and beyond with me to address issues and concerns as they arise. Unfortunately, some of these things are left behind by others, unresolved and incomplete. Last week, during a phone conversation with an HR person, I was told very bluntly, "You do not follow Ed Code." The conversation continued with an "as a courtesy" comment. The courtesy being referred to was a routine procedure for non-re-elections of a P2 member. When I corrected the person on the other end of the telephone line with the statement of, "We do follow Ed Code," it was met with pushback and condescending words. As certificated personnel, we are held to standards that include these measures posted on our classrooms and our offices. These steps are followed by numerous Ed codes that mandate how we perform our jobs. Without following these Ed codes, we can be reprimanded and even dismissed. Yes, an apology was given after I clearly stated my view of the disrespect and the rudeness of the comments. Unfortunately, not one but two employees in the HR department continue to stand on the position that Ed Code does not apply to CMI TA, and implying courtesies were not needed. In my view of the conversation and the dozens of conversations and discussions and debates that have occurred over the 10+ years in creating and growing CMI, and its certificated union. The charter has the right to apply ed code as they see fit under the mega waiver. While the members represented by our CBA must in fact follow ed codes we are told apply to us. This is the nature of our job. We accept these rules and comply. What we expect is to be treated with respect, integrity, not being talked down to, or being made to feel less than. And yes, stating that we do not follow education code of the state of California under a dependent charter of this district leaves us with a feeling of feeling less than. Whether this is a leftover mindset from former charter personnel or not, it should not be acceptable. CMI TA members, its mission, our commitment to our students we serve are not less than. In closing, I leave with you CMI's rules and expectations of our campus, which is posted in every office and every classroom. Be safe, be kind, be responsible, and be respectful. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, 7.4, CSEA President Rosa Galvan. She's not here. Okay, we'll move on to 7.5, the principal's update.
Good evening, President Campos, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Arouse, and Cabinet members. At this time, I don't have a principal's update. I will do the LCAP update when I'm up for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, 8.1, invitation to address the Board of Trustees on non-agendized items. Are there any public comments on non-agendized items?
There are no public comments.
Thank you. Moving on, 9.1 to the consent calendar. Approval of the consent calendar items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. A second? Thank you. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote. Okay, upon a vote being taken, the vote is 5 in favor and 0 opposed. Moving on to 10.1, Local Control Accountability Plan Mid-Year Update. Dr. Dotson.
I had 127 slides, but we cut it.
Don't play with us, bro. Don't play with us.
You will do 125.
Exactly.
I got that.
All right, thank you so much. The local control accountability plan for CMI sets key goals for student achievement, graduation readiness, school safety, and community engagement at CMI. Okay, CMI's budget allocation has been adjusted based on the finalized state budget to ensure resources align with student success. The English Learner Progress Indicator, ELPI, shows a 13.4 decrease in progress, but reclassification rates have increased over 3 years. The 51.1% status is still a status of medium and very close to the high status of 55. Even though it decreased from prior year, the prior year was a high status. And we determined that prior year was an outlier year for some reason. ELA and math performance shows gaps that require continued targeted interventions. particularly for English learners and disadvantaged students. Our reclassification trends indicate progress, but additional support is needed for English learners to reach proficiency. Our EL coach has been working with teachers and students to analyze current performance levels and areas for improvement and set goals for students. The question has come up in the past regarding the high percentage of RFEP students and what we are doing to monitor and support them once they reclassify. ELA teachers administer the REN-STAR assessment 3 times a year to monitor progress on our ELA standards. Ed Services has pulled data for recent RFEP students with D's or F's and is in the process of contacting parents individually to share tutor-me resources. One of the things I'd just like to add to that is that our D's and F rates dropped significantly over this year, so we're very, very proud of the work that our teachers and our staff is doing to help reclassify our EL students. Our ELA academic performance metrics highlight the need for further instructional support to close the achievement gaps. One of the interventions that we've put in place this year is we've implemented our intervention classes inside the regular school day instead of having tutors before school and after school. So that way we capture more students instead of depending on them to come earlier to school or stay later after school. So we've implemented, embellished that into our regular schedule. Our math performance remains a challenge, as it does throughout the district and throughout the state and throughout the United States, with targeted interventions necessary to improve scores. So we've also, along with the ELA interventions embellished in the class, in the regular schedule, we've also did that for our math interventions also. All students at CMI have access to standards-aligned instructional materials, ensuring equitable learning resources.
Should mention that, for those that are new, that LCAP is a 3-year plan that is revisited yearly, and primarily, and I think the board would appreciate the focus, and we'll talk about this in the Paris Union side, is like we're looking at student achievements. We're looking at outcomes, and including those outcomes, one of our big focus is attendance. Right? If they're not in school, and the things that contribute to kids coming to school, we're not affecting achievement. So a lot of the things that Dr. Dodson shared, and especially here, contribute to making the school, like, come to school for 2 reasons other than school, right? Are they there for AVID? Are they there for are they there for CMI as the military advisory and how that's funded? So the big focus is on the LCAP would be outcomes, student achievement, and tied into that, the district's focus with attendance. How are we getting kids in school? We can't educate them if they're not in class. That was the entry slide, but I got it.
My bad. All right. This is my first time doing this, so bear with me. So FAFSA completion efforts are ongoing with workshops and counseling support working toward a 100% completion goal. An hour before I came to this meeting, I spoke with our head counselor, and we're at a 40% FAFSA completion rate as of today. Our graduation rates are expected to remain strong, while our A through G completion rates are projected to exceed 99%. We're accustomed to having 100% of our students graduate, and I don't see that that's going to change at all this year. All right, our AP exam participation has increased significantly indicating growing student engagement in college prep coursework. And because we have so many students that are interested in AP courses, we're going to add a couple more AP courses for next school year too. We're still pushing the dual enrollment also with our partnership with Mount San Jacinto Junior College. Our average participation remains extremely strong, and the college and career indicator shows a positive trend. Our suspension rates are low across all subgroups, reflecting effective behavior and discipline strategies. The structure that we have at CMI has had such an impact on the lack of behavior issues that we have on our campus. It's just incredible. We don't have suspensions or expulsions. And our budget allocations for student support services include transportation, counseling, and career exploration programs. And as I mentioned previously, our expulsion and dropout rates remain at 0, demonstrating a stable and supportive school environment. Our attendance rates are improving, with chronic absenteeism declining from the previous year. We have put many incentives in place to encourage students to come to school on time and be prepared to come to school, and to make sure that they're getting to all their classes on time as well. Our school facilities remain safe and functional with no reported compliance incidents. And once again, I thank Mr. Garcia, Mr. Campos, Hector, Dr. Arauz for that town hall meeting and listening, hearing what all the issues that we had, and then getting action. The actionism was incredible. How quickly things have gotten better there at our school. I can't thank you guys enough for that. Budget priorities include student recognition programs and incentives, extracurricular activities, and leadership development. Our parent participation is outstanding. I can't express the gratitude that I have for the amount of parent engagement and participation we have. Every time we reach out to our parents, they show up in droves. I think I mentioned one time in the past at one of these board meetings that the first coffee with the principal that we had, the room was packed, standing room only. I mean, everyone was there, and I've never, at all the places that I've been to in my career as an educator, never had that kind of turnout at a coffee with the principal. So I'm just pleased as punch for it.
Pleased as punch.
Yes, punch right already. That's good. All right. Surveys and feedback mechanisms continue to improve, ensuring parents and staff voices are heard. We listen to our parents. We value our parents, and we take their feedback and implement it whenever we can and as often as we can. Our social media engagement continues to improve, ensuring parents and staff voices are heard. Our social media engagement is growing, enhancing communication between CMI and families. And our Parent Square and Infinite Campus continue to provide families with easy access to school information. Our budget investments in parent engagement include leadership training, community events, and outreach supports. And that concludes my LCAP mid-year update, pending any questions.
Real quick, on the last slide, I just want to make sure that's your complete budget. There are no other numbers. And then be,
Okay.
yeah, all right, yeah. So I just want to make sure.
That's correct.
for that goal.
For that goal.
For that goal.
For goal
Later,
number
can you
4.
email me your complete budget, please? Well, not the complete, but the overall number.
It's on the third slide, I think.
I hear somebody talking.
It's me, it's on the third slide, I think it's on the third slide.
Okay, can you send
At the
email
very
it to me, please?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the one question I had, so I'm just looking at, budget goal number 1, the 1.5 million that's been put aside or revised for the budget. We've only spent 613, and it looks like the other goals are on track to approximately spend what's been budgeted for. If those monies aren't spent, can they be rolled over, or is it going to be a mad dash to spend towards the end of the
We
year?
always want effective spending, and we do not want a mad dash at the end of the
Right.
year where everybody's contacting thing and said, I need to spend down this budget. So if they contact me or Diane and anybody and say, hey, I need to spend down this budget, that's a big red flag. Diane, on the budget part?
So we can, oh, let me just come up here real quick. So there is a carryover option. We just have to account for it and what we're gonna do or how we're gonna spend it into next year. So as we go through, since this is a live document, so as we go through the remainder of this year, if we have to do any budget realignment, so there might be areas that we might incur some additional charges that were anticipated, maybe increased costs for consultants or whatever, we would realign the budget as we move through the second semester. But if there's any unused money, then we have the option to carry it over. We just have to account for that in our LCAP, and if we do, then we'll do that in our June board meeting, our public hearing, and then the final in June.
Okay, thank you. And a quick definition on the indirects. I see there's line items for indirects, and just a quick that way, at least because it's not.
Over to you, Candace. The cost of doing business.
So an indirect is something that's charged on all restricted funds that go, so in their case, into their general fund, so to speak. So it's an allowable charge for, as Diane said, the cost of doing business.
Okay.
So and then that's broken out into each goal so that it's accounted for in each goal.
Thank you. Any other questions? No? Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good job.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to 11.1. Discipline for January 2025 monthly suspension report. And then and 12.1 personnel, certificated personnel action items. And do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Garcia, and that's Trustee Anaya in the second. Thank you. Please, or any discussion? Please vote. Upon a vote being taken, the vote was 5 in favor and 0 opposed. 12.2 personnel, classified personnel action items. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Garcia. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Hall. Seeing no discussion, please vote. Upon the vote being taken, the vote was 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Moving on to 12.3. Personnel Memorandum of Understanding between the California Military Institute and the California School Employees Association and its California Military Institute Chapter number 778 regarding the change in shifts for custodial and campus security officers classifications. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Naya. And seeing no further discussion, or is there any discussion? Nope. Please vote.
Okay.
Upon the vote being taken, the vote was 5 in favor, 0 opposed. Moving on, informational items. 13.1, curriculum, revised English elective course, critical science fiction, and the future. 14.1, other items by the superintendent.
Thank you, President Campos. We would like to recognize some of our wonderful staff members at CMI, and we're going to ask Mr. Alfredo Andrade and Ms. Marga.
Thank you, Dr. Rouse. Thank you, board and community and staff. This month, for our February board meeting Brave Awards, we would like to recognize some of our staff from the California Military Institute. And our first award goes to Christina Sanchez, library clerk at CMI. Christina Sanchez has truly gone above and beyond her duties and responsibilities while serving the students and staff at the California Military Institute. She treats everyone with the utmost respect and dignity. Ms. Sanchez has transformed the school's library into a warm, welcoming, and safe haven where all the students feel valued. She strongly believes in maintaining a diverse selection of books and magazines to reflect and celebrate the backgrounds of all CMI students. With complete mastery of her role and a deep knowledge of all aspects of running a library, Ms. Sanchez is an invaluable asset to our school. She is well liked by students, staff, and parents alike. We are extremely proud to work alongside her as one of CMI's most valued colleagues. So our second award goes to First Sergeant James Daniel, Military Advisor. First Sergeant James Daniel has been a cornerstone of the California Military Institute community since 2019. He consistently goes above and beyond the call of duty in his interactions and involvement at CMI. Sergeant Daniels is a positive role model for our cadets, especially our athletes. As the head coach of the CMI football team for the past 5 years, he has mentored multiple assistant coaches and catered personnel, fostering a culture of growth and leadership. It is common to see First Sergeant Daniels working with cadets before, during, and after school, helping them navigate personal challenges. Many cadets see him as a second father, or even the only father figure they have known. His wisdom, altruism, and compassion have helped hundreds of cadets overcome obstacles that once seemed insurmountable. First Sergeant Daniels is rarely seen without a smile on his face or a song on his lips. His sense of humor, combined with his caring nature, has endeared him to students, staff, parents, and administrators alike. His unwavering dedication to the cadets and all CMI programs has had a profound and lasting impact on school functions and activities. His leadership is ever present, and the staff, students, and community deeply appreciate the investment he has made in shaping the next generation of leaders. Thank you. Please step forward and the board.
If I stand next to him,
I'm just standing back here.
Behind them or?
Come back.
Well, they gotta move out.
No.
They're the centerpiece.
Try telling them guys no. Try telling them no.
I know, right? You're good, you're good.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you. 15.1, other items by the Board of Trustees. Trustee Anaya. Trustee Stafford.
Nothing.
Trustee Hall.
We all get lit up or what?
We're all
Like, I didn't do anything.
Where are we at, Trustee Hall?
Yeah, Trustee Hall, you have anything to say to CMI?
No, just great job what you guys are doing out there.
Thank you so much.
Trustee Garcia?
You know I like to talk. Actually, I want to thank everybody in CMI. You know, you guys do a phenomenal job, and I have this habit of thanking everybody because I feel us in education, we're not thanked enough. You know, you guys go above and beyond for our kids. Likewise, you know, in the speech that was given about you guys for all the hard work you guys do, they do see you guys as mentors and parents, you know, family, and they trust you. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Keep up a good job. And someone's always looking and someone depends on you all. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for me, same thing. Just thank you for all the work that you guys continue to do there. And Angel, just know, obviously, you know, we hear you. We'll see what kind of comes about it, and I'm sure it'll all resolve itself. So we have some pretty rational people. But that's pretty much it. Just thank you guys. Continue to work hard, and I'm sure that attendance rate is still high there. You guys always are taking the title for that, so thank you. 16.1, adjournment. The regular meeting of the California Military Institute for February 12th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Trustee Stafford. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Trustee Hall. Seeing no discussion, please vote. Upon the vote being taken, the vote was 5-0, and this meeting is adjourned at 6:14.